Yes everyone, welcome back. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited to be releasing this video for you all. I have to give a massive shout out to TNT Sports, as yesterday I got invited to a private press event in London in anticipation of the new Premier League season. It did include a panel of professional athletes, including MMA fighter Molly McCann. It included Scotland rugby captain and Finn Russell, and obviously it included our former star boy and Joe Cole. I had the fortune to interview Joe Cole for 10 minutes to discuss this season, how he feels about the club, and what to expect for next season. Now, this is the first time I've ever actually even interviewed someone on the channel. I have to give a massive shout out to my boy Sean for coming through last minute to be my cameraman on the side. He used my iPhone to record this, but in the end, I think we got things working okay. So I hope you guys enjoy the video today, of course. Hit that like button, share your thoughts and opinions, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Yes everyone, Blue Lines TV here with a very special guest today in Mr. Joe Cole. How you doing, man?
How you doing? Good to see you.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. I remember like one of my memories of you was that game against Charlton when Pele was in the stadium and he put in like one of the braziest 5-star score performances I've ever seen. And then Mourinho subbed you off in the second half, and I was just like completely confused. Like, I always like wanted to ask you your thoughts on that game in the half. Like, did you agree with the Mourinho?
I remember Pele coming, so it was a big thing, Pele coming to watch Chelsea. And he actually, he actually gave me a good write-up afterwards. That he was asked a couple of questions and he thought I was a good player. And that's like the seal of approval. If Pele's, like enjoyed watching you play football, that's like, for a footballer, that's amazing. So, yeah, I mean, listen, I just think it was an era of rotation, and Jose would always start you or bring you on if you was a winger, see it out. But it was fantastic. I didn't actually meet Pele. I wanted to meet him after the game, but yeah, he said some nice things about me, which was that's brilliant.
Nice, because that was a pretty like unforgettable performance. Like I was a kid in the stadium, and I'm like a big man now.
Wow,
so like,
wow.
like being beside you, I feel really old right now.
Mate, don't worry, it happens. I met a young girl come up to me. She was 11, asked me to sign something because I was her nan's favourite player, and that's when you feel old.
That's when you feel like, okay, I'm not there yet. Okay, so I've got a few questions to ask you from viewers from the channel, and I think one of the first things people want to know is, if you were playing in the game today, what position would you play?
I think I'd be moved around the pitch. I think one of the things that I played off the left, I played off the right, I played in the middle, and it was seen as a bit of as a hindrance back then. But nowadays, you look at Kevin De Bruyne sometimes plays high, sometimes plays low. Phil Foden plays off both sides. Bellingham. I think football's evolved. I think first and foremost, you're a footballer and you've got to be able to play in different positions because tactically it's moved on. So I think I'd probably be like, probably be used like Foden's used. And I think it's not as important now, whereas back in the day it was like you played a system and that was it, and it was very rarely did a team deviate from that. But I'd love to have played in this era.
I think if you're playing this era, I just think this is like the perfect era for you. And it gets me thinking, like, touching on what you said, if there's more flexibility now in positions, but does that come at the cost of freedom sometimes, because players have more instructions now from their coaches?
The game's moved on, the game's changed. It's what you like. Some people admire like the purists all admire the structure and then some people like the wild football of the 80s, 90s and part of the noughties as well, where and the rules have changed. We've got VAR, so we're constantly evolving. So it depends what you like. It really does. I mean, if you get, I think a good task for someone to do is to watch a World Cup final from every generation one day, and you could probably do that over the course of 2-3 days, and you'll see the evolution of football, the tactics, and how things are refereed and how the games have moved on. Yeah,
that's a really, really insightful question. But to move on, another question I wanted to ask you is obviously everything happening around the club right now, surrounding transfer activity. What's your thoughts and opinions on the business we're doing? Are you like feeling excited, or are you a bit like apprehensive now?
I think you'd be cautiously excited. Anytime a new manager comes in, there's an excitement because, it's going to be new. There's going to be a new way of playing. We've got a young squad, so every time you can go, you're thinking that it's going to click into gear, and there's this different signs of things working in a different way. I'm disappointed to possibly Connor leaving.
Same.
And Trevor Chalobah and Ambrosia as well, like 3 lads from the academy, because we don't understand the business model behind that, and the whys and wherewithals of the comings and goings. So I'm cautiously excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's the right word. Obviously, I feel the same way. If we secure Simhen, that can make me feel a bit better.
Yeah.
But until that move goes through,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the business. I feel like I understand the sense behind it,
Yeah.
but it does come at the expense of the talent they're producing at this club,
Yeah, I mean, there's a lifeblood in a football club, and it's been going back since football started. The fans like to feel a connection with the players on the pitch. You are an extension of them. You are, when it's a lad coming through the academy, it's one of your own. It's your brother, it's your son, it's your mate. It's and that's what it is. That's the beauty of football, and I think it helps. It just helps the whole of the club when that happens. But there must be a reason for it that there's decisions made, because it won't have been just purely football. Because I think Trevor in particular and Connor Connor was excellent all season. Trevor was our best defender for the last 5 or 6 games when we was in the best spell. So there'll be reasons for that, which I'm not party to. I don't know, but overall, I think the crucial thing for Chelsea is keeping players fit. Reece James, Fofana, Chilwell, Lavia. You have to keep players fit. And that has to come with a little bit of accountability. It starts with the manager, the way he trains, come down. Because you could have as many players as you want, but you could have Pele, Maradona, and Messi and Ronaldo. If they're on a treatment table, they're no good to you. So we got to keep the players fit, and then get something to build on this year.
Yeah, I think. Thank you for that answer, and that touches on to the next question surrounding the youth development and your thoughts on Cobham right now.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's becoming something that's put on the back burners right now? Is it not being championed enough as it used to be over these recent seasons?
Well, obviously there's big change behind the scenes, with Neil Bath and Jim Fraser leaving it, but you have to throw massive praise on them two and the staff around of what they've done over the last 15 years, because Chelsea have produced some fantastic footballers, not just for our club but for English football.
Yeah, and across Europe.
I know from working there, the level of detail and the level of intensity and diligence is put into developing young footballers and young people, and I know that's not the priority. The club had the luxury because of being able to put a bit more focus. Now the club has got to put more focus on the first team, because that everything stems from that. If the club's winning trophies, winning games, then you can go. But it's been phenomenal, Cobham. It really has, and I'd love to see us still producing homegrown players for the first team.
I mean, one of my best memories as a fan was watching the rise of Mount, Reece James, Tamori. I was watching their performances for the youth teams. I was at the finals for the FA Youth Cup, semis, all of that, and I was telling everyone on the channel, listen, these guys are going to be Chelsea first team material. Watch them, and one of my proudest moments was seeing all of them taking that far in the Champions League final. It's memories as a fan.
Again, sometimes there's things that are a little bit more that go beyond what football clubs are business. Like you said, them people that turn up at Stamford Bridge, when they would have seen them lads pulling on a shirt and known their journey, and they know they're from the places that we're from, and then all of a sudden they're on the shirt and then they're running and they're fighting for you, and they're not only that, they're when players come in, if you've got a core of that, and then the players coming in from the outside, they settle in better, they understand better, they understand the culture of the club and what it is. So it's crucial. Something, if I was advising the club, I would say something that would be something that I would look at, and don't underestimate the importance.
Because you can't buy that, you know.
No, you can't. You
can try it.
You can try it to buy it, but when you've got a system that's produced these type of players, you know, it's something that you should cherish.
That's what I mean. Because I've always seen it like all these guys in the academy. They were kids when you were there.
Yeah.
They saw you guys. You know what I mean. But let's wrap things up really quickly. Call it there. Okay, that's cool then. Yeah, I was getting carried away, but. I appreciate that, man. Really nice good chat. And that's the video for today. Now, I was starting to maybe like go over my 10-minute time slot. I couldn't help myself, to be honest with you. I felt like I could have spoken to Joe Cole for like another 10-20 minutes because he's really insightful. He really gives really considered answers. Actually, the whole talk show involving all the athletes was very like candid. They really described the emotions they felt in the particular highs and lows in their career. And it just makes you understand the perspective of an athlete even more. And to be honest, I love that type of stuff because I kind of see it like this, yeah? When we look at players like your Joe Coles, your rugby players like Finn Russell, or fighters like Molly McCann, thousands and thousands of people have those aspirations to one day be on their level, right? So for the people who are fortunate enough to actually get to those heights, what separated you from the rest of the pack? How did you make it compared to others? So it was really great to see them really open up and really talk about their careers in such a candid and honest fashion. And I thought the whole press event last night was absolutely amazing. Obviously, I rinsed out the canapes, a thing of beauty. Obviously, I rinsed out the champagne. I don't even drink champagne, but if it's on tap like that, obviously I'm gonna be there, right? And I met some great people as well too. So yeah, it was a really nice event. Really feel privileged to have been invited. It kind of came from nowhere. Everything was really last minute, but yeah, it was a great event all round. So my friends, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. There will be more uploads coming out today, so stay tuned on Blue Lines TV. And on that note, I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lines TV. See you all soon.